Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's continue our game of Tsukihime, a piece of Blue Glass Moon, running on Nintendo Switch 2. The tracks take a sudden dive, leaving the surface behind. Casting an artificial light across the tunnel walls, the train makes its way through the darkness. The car creaks around me. Man-made lights pass by at regular intervals. The vibration through the seat lulls me into a reflection on this short little journey. It's early, 6:33 a.m. 30 minutes have come and gone since I got on this train. That's how long it's been since I said goodbye to the people who took care of me all this time. How I react to this probably says a lot about me as a person. I'm sure some people might feel sad and wish they could have stayed longer. Others would have accepted it without a second thought. I wonder which side I fall on. I realize after a moment that I don't really feel either. I'm the only one sitting in the 8-seater bench. The seat in front of me are also empty. There are only a couple of other people on the train, including a sleeping man in a suit on the bench next to mine, and a woman standing in front of the door. It may be early, but it feels particularly empty today. The noise from the outside is strangely muted, but maybe I'm just lost in thought. The train vaguely reminds me of a spaceship traveling through the darkness of outer space. No sound can reach it out there. The only things here are my stupid daydreams, the sound of my heart beating, and the memories from an hour ago. It came like a bolt from the blue. Makihisa Tohno has died. Shiki Tohno is to return to the Tohno household immediately. The first contact I'd had from my family in 7 years, and that's how it goes. The Tohno family's word is final. I'm still a student, and they pay for all my expenses. But choosing to return to the mansion today instead of yesterday was my one act of defiance. I just wanted to stay a little longer at the home where I'd spent so much of my life. It was all I could do for the family that took me in and treated me like their own. Thank you for breakfast. It was delicious. I finish my meal and leave the table before the sun even rises. After taking one final glance at my room, I clap my hands together in thanks. It's not much for all the time I've stayed here, but I don't want to leave anything unsaid. I led a happy life here. That's what I want to carry away with me. Kaiko saw me off alone as I left for the Armina household. I asked to leave quietly without waking the others. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Give my regards to Dad and Miyako for me. 7 years. The woman who had acted as my mother in that time looked terribly sad. I never once thought I'd see her like this. Life may be hard at the Tohno mansion, but you'll be okay, understand? Don't overdo it. Make sure you look after your health first and foremost. I take her words of encouragement to heart. My time spent with them was peaceful. I just hope I didn't cause the Automas too much trouble during my time with them. It's been 7 years. I've had plenty of time to recover. I'm a lot sturdier than I look, you know. Yes, you're right. The Tohnos are quite the unusual family, but you're not one to let that bother you. You've always been a strong boy. She smiles through her sadness, and I smile back. I'm happy that she still considers me to be her child. I think you're giving me a little too much credit. Well, I should get going. Take care, Mom. Goodbye, Shiki. Take care. Kaiko knows that I won't be coming back. She sends me off with tears in the corners of her eyes. Get tears from all these fade to whites, my God. That was just 40 minutes ago. That moment marked the end of my previous life, and the start of my new one. view outside shifts slowly. We must have crossed the river that separates the suburban Yashirogi and arrived in the city of Suya. The train begins its return climb to the surface. I can feel the gentle incline. Bright light shines through, piercing my eyes, which had grown accustomed to the artificial dimness of the subway. So many fade to whites. God, it's so annoying. The train sweeps toward the city. The majority of its inhabitants are still asleep. Outside, the air is chilly. A fall morning in the month of October, the heat of summer is little more than a faint memory now. I've watched the same view nearly every day for a year and a half now. But this is the last time I'll be taking this train to school. Memories of the past 7 years rush by like the scenery outside the window. I survived a terrible injury that would have killed most 10-year-olds. I met the woman that would become my master, my mentor in life. I went to live with the Arama family. And now I'm halfway through my 2nd year. The thing Master feared might happen when we parted never came to pass, and as long as I have these glasses on, I don't have to worry about seeing those lines again. And so, Shiki Tohno has led an ordinary, though at times difficult, life. That all changes today. There's nothing major like feeling I don't belong or anything like that. I just don't feel right going back to the way things were before. Having lived a normal life these past few years, the Tohno family's way of doing things just seemed like a pain, or at least more trouble than it's worth. Besides, I can't even imagine living in a mansion bigger than my entire school. I'm surprised I was able to handle it when I was a child. The thought of going back to that old-fashioned way of life is daunting to say the least. I think we'll play a little drinking game next time and take a shot every time the thing fades to white. I don't think I'll be able to finish the novel. The train stops at a large station for a few minutes. The local line I'm taking has to wait for the express to pass. The platform is empty. Usually I would expect to see morning commuters in suits on their way to work, but it's particularly quiet today. The express passes by on the neighboring rails. Thank you for your patience. The next stop is an announcement I've heard hundreds of times play. The door closes with a hiss of air. I see that there are 4 stations left to Suya Station, the station where my school... A girl wearing my school's uniform slips through the automatic doors as they close. Her ribbon is green, so she must be a 3rd year. I feel like I've seen her before. The bag she's holding in her hands must contain things for her club activities. Our eyes meet for a moment. The girl continues to stare at me. Just when I notice that she's walked closer... The way she smiles has me apologizing almost by reflex. The girl laughs lightly. I'm distracted by her laughter and... In an instant, my memory is jolted awake. I knew she felt familiar. I've crossed paths with her a number of times. And now that I think about it, there's probably not a person in the whole school who doesn't know Seal. Soya High's most a revered third year. Happy to offer advice to any distraught first year. Eager to solve the woes of any troubled second year. And quick to save underclassmen from the ire of the third years. Japanese high schools are only 3 years, so if you're wondering why there's no fourth years, it's because there are no fourth years. So third years are seniors, second years are juniors. I guess you can skip freshmen. I don't know. You either call them sophomores or juniors. I guess they call them juniors over there, so maybe they skip sophomore. Some students call her true student council. Some students call her the true student council president, considering most people rely on her over the teachers or our actual student council. She even helped me with something just last week. Man, how out of it am I? Seal is right about how I hate mornings, but thinking about returning home for the first time in 7 years must be killing my brain cells. I can't think of a single thing to say. Think of something to ask. Take the opportunity to admire what's in front of me. Well, let's think of something to ask. A question pops into my mind. Why is she on the train so early?
でもどうしたんですか？先輩、部活やってませんよね。こんな時間に登校なんて。
いえ、何を隠そうボランティア活動の帰りなんです。ほら、生徒会公募で公園のゴミ拾いがあったでしょ。あれをちゃちゃっと先ほどまで。
Well, now it all makes sense. Seal is always running around helping out somebody or another.
早朝から30分だけの奉仕活動だったんですけどね。他の皆さんは一旦帰宅したんですが、私は面倒なのでこのまま登校してしまおうかと。
Her bag clatters. I had assumed it was full of equipment, but it must be cleaning stuff.
おや、中身見たいんですか？先輩の持ち物をチェックするなんておとなしそうに見えて大胆ですね。
She draws closer and looks into my eyes. Her face is so close to mine that I can smell her. Flustered, I can't figure out where to look.
いえ、そういうわけじゃなくてですね。もし折りたたみ式のほうきとか熊手とかなら珍しいなと。
ほうほう、私の万能高枝切りばさみも見たいと。よろしい。それでしたら放課後いつもの茶道部に来てください。あなたなら大歓迎です。
Faced with such a heartfelt smile, I end up blushing. I'd like to say something clever or witty, but all I can manage is a simple yes.
約束ですよ。ここだけの話、部費で購入したお茶受けが余ってしまいまして、日持ちするものではないので元気な男の子の協力が不可欠なんです。
そうですか。じゃあ予定が合えばぜひ。
No, I can kind of see why some people say she's best girl.
食べ物に釣られていくとか猫かって話ですけど。
Seal's warm smile makes me feel comfortable enough to crack a joke. She adjusts the green ribbon around her neck.
どちらかというとワンちゃんではないでしょうか。というか猫科はよくありません。最後まで頼りになるのは律儀で頭のいい犬科です。
For reasons I don't quite understand, she seems to feel strongly about this. As we're both heading to the same place, we continue to chat. We talk about last week's midterms. We wonder why the sports festival has been reduced to a one-day event. We complain about the cafeteria always serving the same things. After getting into a heated discussion about the plan to restrict phones at school, we tire each other out, sigh in unison, and change the subject. We laugh as we trade opinions on the movies we've seen recently. Oh, so we know her pretty well. 15 minutes go by in a flash. It's easy talking with her. She is, after all, incredibly popular among everyone. I don't want this to end, but we only have a few minutes before we get to Suya Station. I tried to bring up something else to talk about, but...
ちょっとうるさいんですけど。
We've forgotten where we are. Seal and I bow our heads in apology.
怒られちゃいましたね。
ごめんなさい。私の笑い声が大きかったんです。きっと。
With that, our conversation comes to a halt. The friendly cheer that filled the air just moments ago has vanished. It's quickly replaced by that familiar city silence, that cold space in which everyone is a stranger. The train pulls into Suya Station. It's just before 7 a.m. I left for school a bit early today, so the town hasn't quite woken up yet. It's quiet right now, but in about an hour it'll be bustling with traffic and commuters.
今朝も交通量が少なめですね。最近街の目覚めが遅い気がします。皆さん夜更かしなんでしょうかね。
As Seal shares this odd observation, I notice how heavy her bag looks.
荷物学校まで持って行きましょうか。
ああ、いえいえ、お気になさらず。私は寄っていくところがありますので、ここでお別れですね。
She smiles a goodbye and waves as she runs off. Her little legs carry her so swiftly I almost expect a comical whoosh. Not to be outdone, I feel an urge to start running too, but there's really no reason for me to hurry. I probably shouldn't be running anyway, considering my condition. I start walking towards school at my usual pace. But just as I set off, the girl from before emerges from the ticket gates. She passes by briskly, slowing only to share a few choice words.
見かけ通り軽薄なんですね。うんざりしました。
And with that, she stalks away. I'm struck dumb by the rudeness. It seems I've made an enemy. I should be careful the next time I have a conversation on a train. I guess I said something that upset her. Even so,
いや、最近の中学生は。
middle schoolers nowadays sure are something. It was a regular hit-and-run scolding. I make my way to school, my steps heavier than usual. It's just about 7 when the main entrance to the school comes into view. Students hurry through the gate to go to their club activities. They must be trying to make the most of their time before their homeroom starts at 8. I also think it's weird that there's a homeroom in high school. I mean, that was something that we did in middle school, but as soon as I went to high school, homeroom was not a thing anymore. Well, different cultures are different. Suya Municipal High School, an old school celebrating 40 years since its founding. Our college admission rate isn't bad, our clubs do fine, and the rules aren't particularly strict. It's as normal as a school you can find. The only complaint male students have is that their uniforms are too old-fashioned, but the school doesn't pay much attention to it. As for the girls, their uniforms were changed 3 years ago. Apparently, the school was worried that keeping the older sailor uniforms would lead to a drop in enrollment. Probably. Something feels out of place in my usual walk to the school. Things feel busier than usual. Pale-faced teachers rush to the faculty room. A black car I've never seen before is parked in the parking lot. There's a chill in the air. Images flash through my mind. A sparsely attended funeral, the coal black of a hearse. I sigh at my own dark thoughts. Trying to shake off the uneasy feeling growing inside me, I head for the classroom. There's no one else there yet, or there's no one else here yet. I sit in my chair and kill time until homeroom begins. More people begin to fill the room as I get in some studying.
おはよう。本日の朝練無事終了のお知らせ。
あれ一番乗りは私らじゃないんだ。遠野早くない？
ああ、あれか、ボランティア。でも今日だったっけ？やっぱ俺サボったかも。
The students of 2C get along well compared to the other classes. We're pretty casual with each other before taking our seats. I catch up with classmates who have just ended their club activities. We go through your typical laundry list of things, from last night's ancient news to stuff that happened just minutes ago at school. We're just talking to pass the time, but this is an important morning ritual of ours. A warm-up exercise to start off the day. We'd only tire ourselves out if we tried to have real conversations about everything, especially in this age of information. The mood in the classroom changes suddenly. Lively chatter dies down to a whisper.
なら道塞いでんじゃねえよザコども。朝っぱらから群がりやがって通行の邪魔だろうが。
Crude remarks you wouldn't expect to hear among the otherwise harmonious bunch cut through the tranquility. I don't even need to turn around to know who it is. Only one person can do this to a room.
Cheese! Good morning, メガネ君。今朝も新規臭い顔しやがって。まったくクソみたいな野郎ですね。
Yep, only him, a delinquent with little respect for the sanctity of our school.
おーい、挨拶どうした？人が珍しく朝から来てやってんのに。 おはようの言葉もなしですか？むしろ朝からいてくれてありがとうぐらいの気持ちはないのですか？
ないよ。朝から濃い顔見てげんなりしてるだけ。そもそもありがとうとかないし、お前のために学校に来てるわけじゃないし。
何？バカ言うなよ。俺は遠野のために学校に来てるんだぞ。そんなの不公平じゃんか。
I'm at a loss for words. Sometimes I wonder why we're even friends. He has a dyed head of orange hair and piercings in his ears. Sporting a perpetual scowl that's practically begging for a fight, he seems to follow the delinquent dress code to a T. Though his brand of counterculture may be a little out of style, he still looks the part of a good punk. His name, Arihiko Inoue.
まあいいか。朝から教室に来るのはいいことだ。おはよう、アリヒコ。ついに出席日数を気にしだしたか？
いや、そこは別に気にしてない。まだまだ余裕はありますよ。今日は家に姉貴がいるんでサボれなくなっただけ。つうか朝まで鉄マンしてたんで、いい加減体力の限界だ。
そうか、すまない。挨拶をやり直させてくれ。おやすみ、クズヒコ。机に急げ。さっさと寝ろ。
何その冷めた反応。それが中学からのライバルに対する態度ですか？もっとこう熱い対応してくれませんかね？
なんで俺とお前がライバルなんだ。無軌道に行きたいんなら街で同行の死を見つけてろよ。あんまり構わないでくれ。
He does still owe me a bunch of money I lent him back in middle school, which makes him more of a moocher than a rival.
どうしてかな。 遠野ってば俺にだけ冷たいよな。他の奴らには聖人君主みたいなやつなのに不公平じゃね？
なんだ、分かってるじゃないか。世の中公平なことってあんまりないだろ。
そりゃそうだけどよ。やっぱお前俺には特に冷たくね？
Arihiko lets out an exaggerated sigh. I don't mean to treat him as any certain way. Everything just naturally ended up this way after years of, I guess, unfiltered treatment. We may have completely different interests and tastes, but we seem to operate on a similar wavelength.
まあ、家から逃げてきたはいいとして。普段から夜型のお前が朝から出席するなんて、どんな風の吹き回しだ？ちょっと、いや、かなり普通じゃないぞ。
まあな、俺だってそう思う。たまたま目が覚めたからって来るもんじゃねえよな、学校ってやつは。ぶっちゃけもう帰りてえ。ああ、やっぱ学生には勉強する意志とか必要なんですかね。
He's not wrong, but when he says it like that, it almost sounds like he wants an award just for making the trip to school.
そのあたりの議論は今度、暇な時に鏡に向けてやってくれ。俺が聞きたいのは、なんで街に行かないかってこと。カラオケでも漫画喫茶でも、時間潰すならそっちのがいいんじゃない？
そりゃあれだよ。最近は何かと物騒だからですよ。荒ごとこなすのもただじゃねえし、あっちには体力ある時しか顔出したくねえわけ。
物騒？
おう、遠野だって知ってんだろ、例のあれ。派手に出回ってる通り魔事件の話だよ。駅前のセンター街、夜になると警官も巡回しているしな。
そっか、そんな話もあったっけ？
Hearing Arihiko talk about it reminds me. The goings on in Soya had bothered me while I was living several stations away with the Aruma family. It was all over the news. I seem to remember.
なんだっけ、すごく低俗な売り文句だったけど。深夜の通り魔事件だっけ？
連続猟奇殺人事件な。被害者は大抵若い女で、2日前に発見された仏さんで8人目。かつ全員の喉元にバツの字の傷跡があるとかないとか。
Weird. My mind can't even picture something like that.
違うよ、乾くん。殺されちゃった人はみんな体内の血液が著しく失われているだよ。
Yumizuka pokes her head out and corrects us, likely drawn by how loud we are.
ああ、そうだったそうだった。現代の吸血鬼かっていう見出しだったもんな、あれ。サンキュー、ユミズカ。おはようさん。
乾くんもおはよう。ついでに言うと外傷には個人差があって、傷が全くない場合と損傷の激しいタイプに分かれてるだったかな。
詳しいんだね、弓塚さん。
そんなことないよ。この町で起きている事件なんだもん。ニュースを見てれば嫌でも覚えちゃうことだと思う。
とま、そういうことだよ、遠野。いくら俺でもな、夜中に殺人犯が出歩いているうちは夜遊びなんざしねっての。最近は真面目に家の中で夜更かししてるわけ。
なんだ、そんな理由だったのか。まともすぎて逆に意外だ。殺人犯に怯えて家にこもるなんてお前らしくもない。
らしくないじゃねえよ。普通は殺人犯に怯えるだろう。こっちはやる気がねえのに、あっちだけやる気満々とか不意打ちにも程がある。絶対にごめんだね。俺はまだ人生棒に振りたくねえ。
ああ、そっか、そうだよな。 狙われたらとことんまで付き合うしかないってことだもんな。
お前ね、そこは逃げるって選択肢はねえの？なんでとことんまで付き合うんだよ。
だって逃げられないんじゃないのか、そういう場合って。
遠野に振った俺がアホだった。実際の話、俺も殺人犯は気にしてねえ。ああいうのはほら、天才だろ。出会っちまう方に運がない。俺が街に出ないのはもっと現実的な理由でさ。最近北口駅前で新手のバカどもが湧いてんだよ。正直顔も見たくねえ。
The north exit, located on the opposite side of the station from the business district in downtown Suya, a bustling hub that never sleeps. Arihiko lives on the north side of the station himself. These fools must be pretty bad if he's going to such lengths to avoid them.
どうのも聞いたことねえか？度胸試しのようなもの。秘密の入り口から地下道に入って奥までつければ大金が手に入るってやつ。
それなら私も聞いたことあるけど、それってただの階段じゃなかった？
ああ、結構昔からある都市伝説だったらしい。それを儲け話っぽく仕立てて利用してるバカどもがいるんだよ。どっから流れてきた新参者か知んねえが、おかげで北口の空気の悪さはシャレにならねえ。ちょっとしたことで殴り合いが始まるからな。俺、基本的に痛いの嫌だし、あんだけ派手にやってればポリも動くだろうし、連中が捕まるのでしばらく自重して家にこもってんのよ。
An urban legend on the north side of the station. I guess I hadn't heard of it since I didn't live nearby. Though I suppose it'll be my problem too, starting today.
なんだよ、反応薄いな。さてはあれか？朝から貧血でぶっ倒れたのか？
いや、今朝はまだ大丈夫。心配してくれるのはありがたいんだけどね。そう四六時中貧血を起こしてたら体が持たないよ。
まあそりゃもっともだ。遠野が大丈夫だって言うんならまあ大丈夫なんだろうよ。
ほら、授業が始まるぞ。早く席に戻って寝ろ。
はいよ。と、そうそう。今日の昼飯な、食堂でするからな。驚きの特別ゲストをお呼びしているので楽しみにしてやがれ。
Arihiko laughs suspiciously as he saunters back to his seat.
それじゃあね、遠野くん。
あ、うん。弓塚さんも付き合わせて悪かったね。
She walks back to her desk, her footsteps light as a feather. Five minutes after the bell for homeroom, and our teacher still hasn't appeared. Just as homeroom is about to end, the teacher next door drops by to tell us that Miss Toyama won't be coming today.
やったー！今日の数学自習じゃん。
Someone sounds like they just won the lottery. Miss Toyama is our math teacher. With her absent, we'll have free study instead. Once you finish the worksheet you're given, you're free to spend the rest of the time however you want. Some of us use the time to study, but the others just kill time. I start on my worksheet. I actually have no problem with studying. I quit going to after-school lessons as a child, but that was after I was told getting into a good school would be impossible for someone with my condition. Whether you choose to go to a college or straight into the workforce, knowledge is never a bad thing to have. I raise my head after solving a few problems and look over to the students near the hallway. I can only hear bits and pieces of their conversation, sitting as far away from them as I am.
やっぱり信じられない。
朝練の時、先生たちが血相を変えて職員室に。
まだ噂だから。
でもそんな簡単に。
ひどいよ。なんでそんなことに。
Something certainly feels wrong, I think, knitting my eyebrows.
昨日の事件。
個 長室に刑事っぽい二人組が。
I brace myself for what's coming. As familiar as I am with this feeling, I find myself not wanting to accept it. I hold my breath in anticipation for the words to come.
だからさ、遠山。昨日死んだらしいよ。
I close my eyes, trying to hold back a headache. The morning passes without the rumor about Miss Toyama spreading much further. The classroom is a mess now that it's lunch. Some go to the cafeteria, others go to the courtyard, while others stay in the room and open their lunches at their desks. What should I do for lunch? I'll meet up with Anahiko in the cafeteria. I'll stay in the classroom. I'll go out in the hallway for now. Well, let's go out to the hallway. The hallways are a mess of activity during lunch. Most people are heading to the cafeteria, but some are carrying lunchboxes, likely on their way to a friend's classroom, the courtyard, or the gym. I merge with the crowd, wondering if I should get a proper meal at the cafeteria, or just buy something light at the school store when I catch a glimpse of Seal further down the hall. I'm probably imagining it, but it looks like she's heading straight for me.
よかった。探してたんですよ、遠野くん。教室にお邪魔する手間が省けちゃいました。
それはどうも。こんにちは、シエル先輩。
This lackluster greeting is all I can muster. For some reason, I suddenly feel very shy.
はい、こんにちはです。でも私たち今日はもう会っていますから、こんにちはというのは正しくないですね。
うん。そういえばそうでした。
I sheepishly avert my gaze. Is there something wrong with me? I've never had a problem talking to Seal before, but I feel really self-conscious right now. Is it because of what happened this morning?
遠野くん、どことなく落ち着きがありませんけど、何か急用でもあるんですか？
いえ、急ぎの用はないです。全然。
There's no way I can tell her the real reason, because I'm fixated on her every move.
それより先輩、俺を探していたって何か用ですか？
はい、朝ちょっとしたご迷惑をかけてしまったでしょ。そのお詫びがしたくてずっと探していたんです。
朝の迷惑って、ああ、電車の話？でもあれは迷惑というより役得というか。
I had a lot of fun talking to Seal. With her to keep me company, the train ride flew by in no time.
でもうるさくしすぎて女の子に怒られたじゃないですか。そのお詫びです。つかぬことをお聞きしますけど、遠野くんはこれからお昼ご飯ですか？
ですよ。食堂に行くか購買で済ませるか迷っていたところです。
よかった。それならご一緒できますね。朝のお詫びにおごっちゃいますから、これから食堂に行きましょう。
え？
With a smile, Seal grabs my arm and whisks me away. It's rare for a third year to be where all the second year rooms are in the first place, so this only sends even more looks our way. I can feel everyone's eyes on us.
ちょっと待ってください。
Oh yes, high school dynamics.
朝のあれは俺だって悪いんだから、先輩が謝ることでもありません。むしろ逆です。謝るならこっちです。
I tear myself away. My face must be beet red.
おお、 それは聞き捨てなりませんね。謝るべきは遠野くんの方だったと。つまりその罰として遠野くんは私のお願いを一つ聞いてくれるとかありなわけですね。
As I feel Seal's gaze teasing me, my cheeks burn even hotter.
いや、今のは言葉のあやでですね。
では観念して私を食堂に連れて行ってください。今日は誰かとランチしたい気分だったんです。運が悪かったと思って私におごられてください。
That's just cheating. There's no way anyone could say no to a smile like that.
あはあ、おごられてってそれも逆ですよ先輩。
だって私が楽しかったのは本当ですから。それでは食堂に急ぎましょう。早くしないと席が埋まっちゃいますからね。
Seal takes my hand again and leads me down the hallway at a brisk pace. Perfect timing. The tables are wide open. A sizable line stretches back from the counter. I guess it's about a 5-minute wait.
私が並びますから遠野くんは席を確保しておいてください。嫌いなメニューはありますか？あるのでしたら今のうちに聞いておきますけど。
いえ、ないです。食べ物に好き嫌いはありません。
大変結構な返答です。それではパパッと行ってきますね。
Without waiting for a response, Seal trots away to get in line. I guess this is an offer I can't refuse.
2人分の空席できるなら角がいいな。
Alright, 2 empty seats. A corner spot would be nice. I'm still not sure if I'm mentally prepared for lunch with Seal. Finding somewhere quiet and out of the way might make it less daunting. I scanned the cafeteria. There are a few empty seats in the middle, but all the corner tables have already been claimed. There might not be any corner seats left for 2 at this.
あった。
The seats I spotted have just been taken by someone with a familiar face.
Yo, Tohno! こっちだこっち!
The orange-haired delinquent waves an arm at me, paying no attention at all to the looks he's getting. I feel a migraine coming on. Still, I'm not mean enough to ignore him outright. All the other corner seats are taken anyway. In a way, he is a people repellent. As his friend, it's my right to abuse that ability to its fullest.
おっせえ、今日は特別ゲストが来るって言ってなかったか？のんびり重役出勤してんじゃねえですよ。
ああ、そういえばそんなこと言ってたっけ。で、その特別ゲストはどこに？
それがな、昨日からスケジュールを抑えていたっつうのに今朝になって断られた。なんでもお詫びをしたい人がいるから今日の昼食は忙しいんですだとよ。
Makihiko's shoulders sag in disappointment as he slurps on his chikara udon.
お詫びをしたい人。
Those words sounded all too familiar.
特別ゲストってもしかして3年生？メガネの似合うショートカットで元気よく動き回って、それでいて頼れる空気出しまくり。
なんだそれ、いつから俺の頭を盗んだ？
いや、そういうわけじゃなくてさ、その。
お待たせしました。こちらの席でよろしいですか、遠野くん。
Seal appears next to our table with a radiant smile. She's carrying a lunch tray loaded with food for 2.
なんと！
おや、乾くん、奇遇ですね。
Seal takes a seat without missing a beat. She sits down in front of me, next to Arihiko.
おああ
And Hiko starts sputtering like a dying engine. Maybe he's in shock due to his sudden stroke of luck. I get it. I was the same way not too long ago.
遠野くんもどうぞ。今日は遠慮せずにお腹をいっぱいにしてください。
There's no way I can say no to that smile. I give in and take a seat across from Seal.
それじゃあありがたくいただきます。
Clacking my hands together in thanks, I look down at the tray she brought. Huh? 3 dishes are lined up before me. Curry with rice, and curry udon. I'm confused.
先輩。
はい。何ですか、遠野くん。
いや、これどういうことでしょうか。
だって遠野くんと私のお昼ご飯じゃないですか。他に何に見えます？
何ってカレーにしか見えないけど。
もちろんみんな大好き定番のカレーですよ。
She's not wrong. The problem is that there's nothing but curry.
メニュー3つありますね。
もちろんです。遠野くんは男の子なんですから、いっぱい食べてもらわないと。私は一品でいいですから、どうぞお好きなものを選んでください。
それじゃあカレーライスとカレーうどんで。
Otherwise, I'd just be eating 2 helpings of the same thing.
残さず食べてくださいね。遠野くん、好き嫌いないんですから。
I don't see an ounce of malice in Seal's smile. This isn't a joke or a prank. She's actually doing this out of the goodness of her heart.
いただきます。
Okay, with that, why don't we stop it there? This is meowmurai. You've been watching Tsukihime, a piece of Blue Glass Moon running on Nintendo Switch 2. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.